Итак, мы все еще на светло, в прошлой серии мы выяснили. Мы практически никто не делает, как все понимаем. Испытание веры, мне кажется, испытание веры. Интересно, а вера во что? Веру в Бога, в матушку, в демонов, в оккультизм? Так, надо понять, куда идти сначала.
Why a cross?
Well, I haven't the foggiest idea, but it just so happens that's what you are going to use to activate the mechanism. I found the one Mortimer kept. It belonged to Cardinal Guibert, better known by the name of Pope Clement III.
Perfect. Where is it?
Unfortunately, I've lost it. When I lost my hand, I went dashing out, and it must have fallen from my pocket.
Remember, Mother. I'm certain you can remember.
Let me think.
You were running.
I was bleeding to death.
You remember the pain.
I thought I was going to faint. Yes, I remember. I don't think it can be far, can it?
Would you have lost it outside?
No, I don't think so. It must be in the area. I don't remember going up with it.
Perfect. I'll search the crypt before leaving.
Так, крест находится где-то здесь. Наверное, даже будет лучше, если я буду где-то это выписывать. Но хотя... Так, про гвозди мы знаем, они в кабинете.
An exegesis. Anything else?
Did you manage to vanquish the Medusa?
To open the chimney? Yes, absolutely.
So you've already come across it. It's the Bible of Judas that is exposed in the secret room behind the chimney.
Why do they call it an exegesis?
Because that's what it is, and not an apocryphal Bible, strictly speaking. It's the study of a text with a summary, not an actual Bible. Anyway, well done for the Gorgon. You did well. You didn't get tricked by the light bouncing back.
Thanks. Do you think I can take it safely?
We haven't got a choice, Louis. Without it, we won't be able to work out this cursed mechanism.
Так. Крест, кабинет, потайная комната с медузой. Она в башне, но я уточню.
This is the book in which you left your correspondence with Duchess Hillsborough, isn't it?
That's right.
You still believe it's in the tower room, don't you?
I don't know. There is only one way to find out, though.
Right. I shall go and see. There's one in the portrait gallery.
Yes, but it's enormous. If you don't want to have to go back and forth several times, then I suggest you get a smaller one.
What did you do then?
I didn't think I'd need one. I started without one, and I lost my hand before I did need one. And you can see the result.
Печально.
What do you mean by the concordance of dates exactly?
Don't worry about that. We already have them. They are written on the back of the message I just gave you.
Tell me, Mother, you wouldn't know anything that might save me some time, would you?
That's where you'll have to put the Clement III cross. You insert the cross into the slot, and it will open the iris.
Let's see if I can work it out myself. It looks like a kind of control panel. It looks like certain mechanisms I've seen before. I wouldn't be surprised if I had to put the Clement III cross in it.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
Хаман.
Great. Honey. What on earth is that? A disc with information engraved in the metal? An iris that should open, I imagine, and blood.
Ну, это кровь матушки, скорее всего, но я уточню.
Mother? The dried blood. There.
Yes, it's mine. Sorry if I stained everything, but I must admit that at the time my thoughts were more on the pain than cleaning up after myself.
Did you succeed in opening this iris?
Yes, by putting the cross on the console and the 3 nails on the disc, the iris opens. It gives access to a hole where I put my hand, thinking I could fully open the iris. There's a handle at the bottom, and as you can see, it didn't turn out very well for me.
There are Roman numerals, Arab numbers, and town names.
Go on, I'm listening. What do you think?
Tell me, I imagine that once we've solved this enigma, the iris opens, right?
Exactly.
All the town names mentioned have something to do with Christ, haven't they? Golgotha, Bethlehem, Nazareth.
Exactly.
Потом разберемся со всем этим. Так, тут указаны даты. В общем, сначала мне нужно найти крест в склепе.
Famous cross of Clement III.
Мы нашли его.
And one key found.
Так, отлично. Куда идти дальше? Так, надо выйти из склепа. Сара говорила, что времени в обрез, поэтому... Ключ с окружным символом воздух. Так, а тут что? Кармелитская вода. Снова затариваемся. Бочка. А что в бочке? Ничего, это просто отсвечивает. Так. Выбраться бы еще из лабиринта. Это будет трудно. Но мы сможем. Я верю. Отлично, у нас получилось. Нам надо что-то вроде этого, так?
Right. It's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise, I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings. Now, where can I find a smaller one?
Так, надо заглянуть в потайную комнату. Наверняка сфера находится там.
Right. Let's see if the statues are in place yet.
The Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
That statue is not positioned correctly.
А, и это все, что мне нужно было
Open
сделать?
sesame. The Ring of the Nibelungs. Even if Mortimer is several centuries old, I don't see what part he has in this legend. Now, given all the relics preserved here, it wouldn't surprise me if Mortimer claimed it was Excalibur. Caesar's laurel wreath. If Mortimer really is what my mother says he is, it could mean... No, that's impossible. No, not Caesar.
Надо забрать эту книгу. Только как? А, легко.
So that's the exegesis of Judas. I hope Mortimer doesn't read it very often, otherwise he's going to notice that someone's stolen it. But that's just too bad. I need it. So that's Pandora's box? An urn? Mother seemed worried that I was able to open it. I wonder why. Never mind. Now it's too late.
Да, мы ее уже открыли.
Right. I've got what I need. Now let's not waste any more time.
Что-то мне подсказывает, что с астролябией нам может помочь этот, как там его? Вельнер. У него много оккультных штук, наверняка и сфера среди них есть. Если я с ним столкнусь, попробую поговорить. Не картина, на самом деле, хорошая вещь. А вокруг никого не видно, это подозрительно. Но не то, чтобы нас это должно волновать. Да, комната Вельнера недалеко. Но дверь в другой стороне. Попробуем заглянуть туда.
An armillary sphere. Perfect. That will save me some time. I only hope that he isn't going to realize it right away.
Моя память меня не подвела. Валим отсюда, валим. Ну что ж, теперь дело за малым.
Ah, Louis. Glad you're here.
Blasted. He's gonna talk about my mother.
Come and see.
Так, 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 так. Так, в случае чего можно использовать золотой эликсир.
I found. There are pieces of paper in the ashes of the chimney. Someone's been burning something here.
Incredible. He doesn't seem to want to speak to me about what happened between my mother and the Hillsborough sisters.
Show me a little.
Look, it's possible to distinguish two different writing styles.
The rest of the correspondence between my mother and Emma.
Someone tried to burn an exchange of messages. I'm certain. There must be more.
Shit. What on earth is he doing?
У него случайно нет устойчивости к манипулированию? Неизвестно. Что ж, попробуем.
If you want my opinion, a servant must have burnt some old papers. That's all.
Why, of course. You very nearly made me think that you were trying to hide something, Louis. No, I'm sure there must be other hidden messages.
He won't let go. He's going to work his way back to the Bible if he continues. Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
Hey, look, there.
No, I don't see anything.
Come, Louis, look. Someone's clearly drawn a 4 in the dust. I have a clue.
I better take the Bible before he works his way back to it. The Bible's still there.
теперь можно наблюдать за его попытками что-то угадать.
Hey, look, there.
No, I don't see anything.
Come, Louis, look. Someone's clearly drawn a 4 in the dust. I have a clue.
He's going to be disappointed when he sees the Bible's disappeared.
Да, поэтому нам лучше уйти отсюда побыстрее. Так, гвозди. Гвозди в кабинете Мортимера.
A painting. It looks unfinished. A piece by Lord Mortimer, I presume. A rather avant-garde technique. A titan against men. How ironic.
А, педалька, там была педалька.
Right. This time, it'll be a lot quicker. If I remember rightly, the code was 1191.
Да, матушка нам его еще напоминала.
Of course. There. Those are the nails I was looking for. I noticed they were old and rusty, but I hadn't noticed these traces of... Could that be blood? Is it really the relic of the Holy Cross? I can hardly believe it.
Мы все нашли, теперь надо вернуться к матушке.
All right, come on. Let's get out of here. 6466, if I remember correctly.
Так, выбираемся отсюда. А может, мне есть смысл встретиться с герцогиней? Я, конечно, понимаю, что время не ждет, но вдруг мне есть смысл встречаться с ней. Я так просто зашел к ней?
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that our mission should under no circumstances hamper Sir Gregory's plans. Decidedly, they have support from the highest level in Buckingham Palace. So here we both are.
Grammar of Port-Royal. Ah, the artistry of the French language in all its splendor. Whoever masters French commands the world. At least une partie of it.
А что у нас там с предметами? Золотой эликсир и якорцы. Нам их не хватает.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers. Madam, thank you for consoling the Queen. The King's situation is worsening, but I wager he'll recover from this present fit. Next time you speak with Her Majesty the Queen, would you please be so kind as to ask her to look into my petition? Two coils circle the lock.
Dear Gregory, thank you for the information. I've managed to find out about the names you gave me. George Washington is a man you can trust. In spite of his obvious talent for politics, he has remained upright and honest. On the other hand, as you may well know, he is already doing business with Lord Mortimer. It will be more difficult to approach him. Napoleon Bonaparte was unknown to me until today. He's a passionate young French soldier for whom Mortimer predicts a promising future. Take heed. He is a man of conviction, which to my mind makes him potentially dangerous. As for Sarah de Richet,
I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later. A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam, I shall never thank you enough for all your care and attention. I shall be indebted to you until my last breath.
If you have any request of me, you only need ask.
A devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguised traits.
А зачем мне на балкончик? Я там уже был. Думаем, 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 думаем. Мы можем, конечно, спуститься здесь, но... А вдруг мы встретим кого-нибудь по дороге? Это было бы интересно. Но нет, мне кажется, я никого не встречу сегодня. А зачем мне идти сюда? На всякий пожарный? Типа, а чё вы тут по ночам шастаете, месье Дерише? Чё, нет, никто не спросит? Никому не интересно, почему я по ночам шастаю? Ой, тут есть арфа. И даже ноты для нее. На ней кто-то играл? Ой. Там стоит человек. Может, поговорить с ним?
Not too shocked.
I beg your pardon?
About Peru this morning. I asked you if you weren't too shocked by it all.
Так, надо вспомнить. У Наполеона, кажется, устойчивость к убеждению и к политике. А к уклонению?
And yourself? Not too shook up?
The only thing that matters to me about that stupid man Peru is the disastrous situation in which it put us for the conference vote. I wonder why Mortimer even allowed him to roam around the manor armed. He was a veritable public danger.
Indeed. You don't seem to be too affected. Tell me. I was wondering. I won't keep you any longer. See you later, monsieur.
Подозреваете что-то, да? Я могу отсюда выйти в сад? Нет, не могу. Эй. Луи, у тебя, конечно, очень красивый пиджак, но... И галстук у тебя красивый, но... Мне сейчас немножко не до этого. Чё, в столовку тогда? Ой. Слуга. Может, с ним поговорить?
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
You wouldn't have a little golden elixir I could use, would you?
Oh, unfortunately, sir, I have orders not to give any of that medicine to any of Lord Mortimer's guests. Some guests are here to follow a very strict treatment. Mixing or combining certain substances would be dangerous for sir.
My good fellow, you're right. One should never mix treatments without the advice of an expert. It so happens that I usually make my own golden elixir, but I haven't brought my kit with me. Perhaps, in that case, would you fetch a spoonful of ethyl alcohol, ethereal oil, and 10 milliliters of ethanol for me? Along with that, a small quantity of gold, please. Just a few crumbs will suffice.
Ah, I see that sir knows his subject. Therefore, I see no reason why I shouldn't give them to you. I hope that will be enough for you, sir, because I haven't any more.
Thank you. That will be fine.
May I help with anything else, sir?
Итак, мы отобрали у бедного слуги все, что нужно, все, что нам было нужно, все, что у него было. Больше слуга нам ничем в этой жизни не поможет. Я баловства ради хочу поболтать.
God damn it, Orishi! Are you joking or what? You sell me pipe dreams about Mortimer's project, and a few hours later, one of your allies completely breaks down. Is this what Mortimer's side is all about? What am I going to do now?
Мне кажется, если я попробую убедить его логически, слабость к манипулированию и оккультизму, устойчивость к политике. Психология на него вроде хорошо действовала.
Come now, my Lord Duke. You know very well that at this level, things can get pretty rough. You ought to be used to it. Rest assured, Lord Mortimer has bounced back before. It's not an issue.
What can I do for you?
I'm dreaming. My mother was right. He's not going to tell me one word about what happened to Emily.
To tell you the truth, I'm in search of an armillary sphere. You wouldn't know where I can find it, would you?
Well, well. So you do have a passion for astronomy. Von Wollner has already bored me quite enough with all of his endless stories. You ought to concentrate, Louis. Politics is an art that requires all one's attention. Refrain from spreading yourself too thin, and leave stargazing to the poets.
What can I say? I'm only...
Ask Wollner. I am sure he must have it among his effects.
Perfect.
Thank you, my Lord Duke.
Leave me now.
See you later.
То есть можно было получить подсказку о том, что у Вельнера может быть эта сфера. Ну, ей без подсказки до этого доперло, поэтому... Поэтому как-то так. Ну, и я не думаю, что нам попадется сам Вельнер. Ну вот просто так случайно. Мы уже все комнаты обошли и больше никого не нашли. Кстати. У нас ведь уже прокачана ловкость. Может быть, мы можем что-то затащить с верхних полок? Кажется, нет, не можем. Или мы все уже забрали. Не, нигде нету. Значит, мы просто идем в сад и разыскиваем матушку. Обалдеть, у меня с первой попытки получилось найти проход в лабиринте. Ну что ж, отправляемся навстречу запутанным делам и чудесным приключениям. Я не знаю, куда мы идем и зачем. Только матушка знает. Она обещала нам все рассказать. Мы нашли все, о чем она нас спросила.
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right. I have everything. What should I start with?
Place the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
What theme did you start with?
As the fresco shows the birth of Christ, I placed one nail in Bethlehem, one in chapter 2, and one in verse 6. The iris opened a little. I thought it was normal. Behind the aperture of the iris, there is a duct in which I put my hand. I felt something like a valve at the bottom. I thought by turning it the door would open, or the iris would open completely, or something else would happen. Instead, I felt something like an axe cut off my hand. I really thought it was the end of me.
What did you do then?
Well, although I had made some unfortunate choices, I was lucky in that Mortimer was well stocked with drugs. I raided his supplies of medicine.
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert one to choose a town, one to choose a chapter, and one to choose a verse.
All right, my turn now.
Go ahead, impress me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas. Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Голгофа.
The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
I'll have to trust her. Yes, it's definitely a representation of the birth of Christ, but some of the details have flaked away. I can't see any other clues. One thing is for sure, this enigma deals with the life of Jesus, like my mother said. If Mortimer deliberately set a trap by showing the birth of Christ, then maybe the solution is the contrary. The death of Christ in that case? You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more. Why, of course, they're part of the initials I-N-R-I that you can find on the cross of Jesus at his crucifixion. Chapter 19, verse 17.
19-17.
Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head. Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Так, 19-17.
What hole should I put the nails in?
Well, I can't really advise you there, because I haven't exactly made the best choices myself. All I can say is that you have to insert 1 to choose a town, 1 to choose a chapter, and 1 to choose a verse.
works.
Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. These towns have one thing in common. They're all related to the life and death of Jesus. For example, Jordan is the place of the baptism of Christ. Clearly, we have names of towns, Arabian numerals, and Roman numerals. There must surely be a connection between the wheels. Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon. There are different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels. I think I can make out each one of the icons apart from the one covered in blood. Going clockwise from the one I just mentioned, we have the halo that represents the resurrection. The waves represent the baptism of Jesus. It's more difficult to identify the next one. Maybe a crib, and in that case it's surely linked to the birth of Christ. The red herring that my mother followed. Then, the symbol represents the crown of thorns that Jesus wore during his crucifixion. The dove also represents the baptism. Certainly another red herring. Then comes the symbol of the Trinity. And finally, the candle that must stand for the Last Supper. Now, given the difference between the number of icons and the number of towns, I think that only one path connects all the wheels with one another. Let's try to connect the theme I've chosen with the rest. Mother, what do you think?
As I told you, I didn't get that far. Nevertheless, these icons do represent moments in the life of Christ.
This wheel contains several symbols made up of 1 or 2 figures and 1 letter. The highest figure does not exceed 31, and each letter corresponds to a month of the year. A for April, and M for March. I think these symbols must represent a specific date. This wheel represents the different moons. In the occult sciences, we represent the full moon by an X. As for the dark moon, called the new moon, in cults, it's often associated with something harmful. The totally black moon corresponds to the new moon. So, going clockwise, we have the waning crescent, the last quarter, the waning gibbous, the full moon, the waxing gibbous, the first quarter, and lastly, the waxing crescent. The moon's shadow moves from west to east. During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescents, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter,
waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon.
Так, даты.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
8 Ниссана 1000...
Chapter 19, verse 17. And he, bearing his cross, went forth into a place called the place of a skull, which is called in the Hebrew Golgotha, where they crucified him, and 2 others with him, on either side, and Jesus in the midst.
Один, 7, 9, 3. Проверим еще раз.
Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme. Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme. According to the architect's notes in the armillary sphere, the moon during the crucifixion was a first quarter. That's the one with its left half in the light.
Seventh of Shaban, 607, first quarter.
Первая четверть. Нам нужна первая четверть.
I think I can make out each one of the icons apart from the one covered in blood. Going clockwise from the one I just mentioned, we have the halo that represents the resurrection. The waves represent the baptism of Jesus. It's more difficult to identify the next one. Maybe a crib, and in that case it's surely linked to the birth of Christ. The red herring that my mother followed. Then, the symbol represents the crown of thorns that Jesus wore during his crucifixion. The dove also represents the baptism. Certainly another red herring. Then comes the symbol of the Trinity. And finally, the candle that must stand for the Last Supper.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
Еще раз.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. These towns have one thing in common. They're all related to the life and death of Jesus. For example, Jordan is the place of the baptism of Christ. There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category.
Может быть, тут должен быть терновый венец и первая четверть луны?
Let's see what combination corresponds to the chosen theme.
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions.
Нет, я пытаюсь найти...
It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions.
Нет. Да.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
Еще раз.
Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon. Look at this. There are notches between each of the wheels. So, I have to link the name of the town from the theme I've chosen to an icon, then to a date, and finally, the date to the moon.
Место с символом. Ой. Так, стоп. Диск с датой. А что тут написано вообще? А, март. А, ну я правильно поставила случайно. 8-я Ниссана 3793. Проверим.
Chapter 19, verse 17. Jesus was crucified on the 8th of Nisan, 3793, in a place near Jerusalem. The Romans put a crown of thorns on his head.
Так, теперь фаза Луны. Ну что, как говорится, раз, два, три, елочка гори. Страшно.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck. I never doubted you, my son.
Вообще никакой неудачи, все идеально, все четко. Мне надо вкачать логику. Я часто ее использую и часто лажаю по ней. Но я не могу сейчас качать логику через книги. Мне нужна логика из-за того, что я налажала на ней. Поэтому мне нужен баф, который компенсирует дебаф, который я получила ранее. Мы разгадали загадку с первой попытки. Мы имеем право называть себя очень логичными. Наконечник. Что за наконечник? Ну, блин, у нас всего 2 манускрипта доступных. Это, конечно, грустно, но что делать? Не было у нас возможности найти новый манускрипт.
I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost.
Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Louis, you really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better, if you don't want your foes to use them against you.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents.
Они как будто все следят за ним. Что означают эти интерлюдии? Что это? Что
But where
это?
are we? I don't know, but we better not hang around. Do you know what we're looking for?
We have to find that weapon. What do you know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
The what?
The Lance of Longinus the Centurion.
Oh, that? That's what we come to find? The lance that a centurion stuck in the side of Christ at his crucifixion?
That's it.
Seriously? You don't really believe that fable, do you?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Very well. Now what?
Well, now you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our departure. Let's get off this cursed island as quickly as we can. We shall come back when we are ready and armed.
But hang on.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not. You take care of getting the lance. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
Hang on. At least tell me everything you know about this lance.
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
Hang on a second.
What's the matter?
Why did you shoot Emily's sister?
Do you really think now is the right time for this?
I want to know, Mother. Why did you betray her?
Listen, Louis. I don't think you've really understood my interest in the Al-Azif. It's not just simple curiosity about some old relic.
You tried to kill her.
And I had no choice, for crying out loud. It must not fall into the hands of the demons, or we are all doomed, don't you see? Listen, I don't know exactly what it contains, but I prefer to be one step ahead. If they want it, there must be a reason. And even if I don't know what it is, I want to stop them for safety's sake, no matter what.
Nothing will stop you if I understand correctly. Not
Enough,
even...
Louis. If you could see the extent of their power as I do, then you would understand what I'm saying.
All right, we'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it. Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it. Then run and meet me on the wharf.
And if I get caught?
If they catch you in possession of the lance, we're all doomed. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.
То есть мы открыли эту дверь, чтобы вернуться обратно? Серьезно? Ой, а у меня есть возможность выбрать себе книжку почитать?
The Bible must mean the lance which finally took the life of Christ. The Gospel of St. John is the most detailed on the subject of the crucifixion. When they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead already, they broke not his legs, but one of the soldiers with a shimmering lance pierced his side, and forthwith there came out blood and water. And he that saw it bore witness, and his record is true, and he knoweth that he saith true, that ye might believe. A shimmering lance? What is this telling me?
The medieval Hermetic traditions evoke the idea of using noble materials for relics, which the monasteries often made themselves in order to attract pilgrims. Of course, they had to inspire greatness. So here, we might think of gold, whereas a centurion could not have hoped for anything better than copper at the time. The true lance would not have been a luxurious weapon. The name of the Roman soldier who killed Christ never appears in the biblical canon. Yet, it is said that he was a centurion and was called Longinus.
Упс, а зачем я его вытащил? Сплошные загадки, сплошь и рядом. А вот и книга. По логике. Я очень надеюсь, что у меня будет возможность прочитать книжечку. То есть металл был сияющий, но недорогой. Так, тут выхода нет. Так, выйти к статуе, потом обойти эти кустики, веточки, потом так, а что у меня с навыками? Неужели у меня... Нет, все мои навыки прокачаны достаточно. Бдительность, конечно, нужный навык, но не критично. Ну, ладно, мне не помешала бы бдительность на самом деле.
The Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near, his brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything.
У меня уже не так много всего. У меня есть только, ну, то есть... У меня только якорцов много.
Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Ну, отлично, сейчас мы его и выпьем. Есть, конечно, достижение трезвенника, но мне кажется, что я не получу его никогда. Надо сначала убедиться, что Пьяджи нет на первом этаже, а потом пойти искать его на втором этаже. Мы в его комнате еще ни разу не были. Ой.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Да, мне кажется, как только мы найдем Пьяджи, мы закончим эту серию. Тот, кто говорит, что оккультизм не интересуется Библией и христианством, этот человек сильно ошибается, потому что оккультисты считают веру источником силы. просто... Ой, мы нашли его. Тут красиво, давайте тоже посмотрим. Очень красиво, да, игра в принципе красивая, графика мне очень нравится этой игры. И... Ну, до того, как мы поняли, что мы находимся в ловушке и, возможно, скоро умрем, как бы...
Your Eminence, would you have a moment to spare?
Not now, Louis. Please, leave me alone.
I beg your pardon?
I want to be alone.
Very well. I'm only searching for information about the lance of Longinus, the soldier. If you could...
You are not listening to me. You are playing with fire.
I heard you speak to Mr. von Wollner about it, and I was
А можно
wondering if
ты
you
не
could tell me
будешь
something about
прыгать?
it.
That was a private conversation. How could I have known that he was listening to us?
I see what you mean.
Louis, don't push it. Leave while you still can.
Your Eminence, are you all right? Your Eminence, are you with me? Can you turn around, please?
What do you want to know about the Holy Lance, Louis?
Your Eminence, turn around.
This is the weapon used by a Roman centurion on the very day Christ was nailed to the cross.
Look at me.
Longinus thrust his lance in the right side of Jesus.
Please.
As you wish.
His nose is bleeding.
So you are looking for the Holy Lance of Longinus, are you?
Стоп. Устойчивость к эрудиции, слабость к манипулированию.
No, I was wondering about it myself.
Oh, Louis. It's even worse than I thought. I believe you when you say you've only come to find out more. But in that case, it means that Sarah didn't even tell you the point of it all. Because, believe me, you are looking for it. You are looking for the lance. You should know, you are not the only one. Lord Mortimer has spent a good part of his life and his fortune trying to find it. Never will he let you have it. But tell me, before going any further, have you spoken to anyone else about this?
Стоп.
No, you are the first I've spoken to about it, Your Eminence.
Come now, Louis. Are you quite sure of that?
Только с матерью.
Yes, my mother knows about it.
Of course, Sarah. Who else?
Больше ни с
No
кем.
one else.
What are you going to use the lance for, exactly?
Я еще не придумал.
Nothing in particular. I'd like to study it, that's all.
Louis, please. I'm sure you can do better than that.
I need it.
Why?
You won't understand.
Try me, Louis.
I need to protect myself with it.
Louis, I thank you for your sincerity. I shall answer you about Longinus. You deserve to be told. His spear-headed lance did...
Так, навыки. Этикет повысился.
Indeed, pierced the side of the Messiah. His blood gushed out, covering the head of the lance. It was covered in the blood of Christ.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Eminence.
You are welcome. Be careful, Louis. You are on a perilous path. Don't follow Sarah's demons, my boy. Don't delve too deeply into her delusions, or you won't be able to come back. The demons that she is frantically trying to drive away are in her own mind. Take good care of yourself. God keep you.
Кому теперь верить? Наконечник выглядит как клин. А может, я могу поговорить с ним еще? Нет, не могу. Ладно. Произведение искусства находится в картинной галерее. А еще есть лестница, по которой я могу подняться наверх. Еще я могу выйти в вестибюль и посмотреть, кто может быть в малом зале. Загадки все сложнее, и вид, то есть ответ на них все менее очевидный. О да, наконец-то я собрал их. Манипулирование, убеждение, оккультизм. Манипулирование, оккультизм, убеждение. Очень полезная книга.
Good evening, Mr. President.
Good evening.
А действует ли на него допрос? Но он же член
I'm
Золотого...
back on the trail of my mother again. I don't have time to explain, but would you know anything about the Holy Lance?
That's good news. But be careful, Louis. You might end up getting noticed.
Do you know anything or not?
No, I regret I don't. But why not ask von Wallner? Theology is his field, after all.
That's an idea. In that case, I'll try and find him.
You are keeping up the good work, I see. But I'm telling you, keep your guard up. Everyone is rather on edge right now.
You're right. Thanks for everything, Mr. President.
See you later.
Упс. Мне кажется, сообщать ему об этом было не очень хорошей идеей. Потому что за нами могут следить слуги.
What can I do for you, sir? I am at your service day and night, sir.
Да и сам Мортимер. То есть излишняя честность сейчас скорее навредит мне, чем принесет пользу.
Chronicles of the Amber Princes. As I recall, Dorkin was my favorite character.
Amber. Amber crystals.
Хе-хе-хе. Слишком много меда выпивать сейчас нет никакого смысла. Я оказался где-то не там, где хотел оказаться, но я могу опускать это место хорошо.
Amber.
Больше янтаря. Забавно, что именно янтарь является чем-то вроде накопителем моей мудрости, так скажем. Ого. Ого. А я думал, что не найду ничего хорошего возле кресела, а тут оба. Полезные вещички. Ладно, я схожу в портретную галерею, если я там никого и ничего не найду, то неподалеку есть лестница на второй этаж. Произведение искусства. Больше всего в башенной комнате. Это что, это выход в сад, он открыт? Да, но я туда не пойду. Не сейчас. Так, тут я уже обыскал все, что хотел. Мне бы теперь пройти обратно в галерею. Еще было бы неплохо пройти в секретный отсек галереи, потому что там что-то может быть интересное.
The Fall of Phaeton, another painting by Rubens. Poor Phaeton, struck by lightning for borrowing his father's chariot and losing control of it. Moral, don't steal Dad's chariot. The Company by Rembrandt. A fragment of amber. A meeting between Louis XIV and Philippe V. I wonder why Mortimer's particularly fond of this painting.
The Song of Roland.
François Ier, Receiving the Holy Family, a painting by Raphael. The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci.
The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples.
Что ж, по крайней мере, я не пойду по ложному следу. В галерее нет никого и ничего, кто мог бы мне помочь. Ой, это что за картина?
Allegory regarding the decoration of the rights of men.
Ясно.
That's the least you could say. Liberty or Death by Regnault. Well, I'll take liberty, please. But I do understand his choice. A painting by Ingres. Molière dining with Louis XIV. The king's posture is surprising. It's almost as if he's addressing someone in the assembly. Honey, I couldn't have hoped for better.
Я перепрыгнул через стол. Так. Обратно. Может, я могу спросить, где Вёльнир? Как только я его найду, наверное, серию придется закончить. Она и так получилась достаточно насыщенной. Хотя, конечно, с Вёльниром сейчас разговаривать опасно, потому что мы у него стыд взяли астролябию без разрешения. Или как там в этой игре эта сфера называлась? Я привыкла ее астролябией называть. Надеюсь, что я ни с чем ее не путаю. Это можно проверить. На самом деле существуют астролябии, которые выглядят так же, как орбелярные сферы. Но все-таки орбелярная сфера — это инструмент для астрономии, а астролябия все-таки для геометрии.
It seems like he isn't here.
В смысле? И что нам делать тогда?
The alchemist is a young man.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
The signs of the zodiac.
И что, и без комментариев, да?
What a mess. Looks like Volner was interrupted. Looks a lot like straw, and he's drawn something in a hurry on this sheet. I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before. I've seen occult inscriptions like this before. They're not very common. As a matter of fact, I've only seen them once before, around the Lock of Al-Azif. I get the feeling that I've seen that somewhere before.
Что ж.
Yes, it's definitely a drawing of the Lock of Al-Azif. Volner must have kept a copy. Straw on his desk, as if to protect something fragile. Yes, someone must have packed something away here.
Он все-таки нашел Алязив. Если да, то у нас проблемы.
The signs of obscurantism.
Ой, а может что-то забыли?
It seems like he isn't here.
Тут ведь две комнаты, правильно?
A chemistry set. That's not surprising coming from von Volner. So, let's see what Volner has in his bookcase. Ah, damn it. Most of these works are in German. I don't understand a thing. Well, except for this one. It looks like Latin. Longini militis fabulum. Longini? Ah, what have we here? It looks like a kind of biography on Longinus the Centurion. Truly, Volner has done everything he can to get information about that lance. I'd better keep this one, though.
Oops.
Damn, that's all I need. Maybe he knows something about the lance.
What are you doing in my room?
Так. Я ждал этого момента, я ждал. Я знал, что он однажды произойдет в моей жизни. Так. Ну что ж, якорцы, настало ваше время. А я вас искал.
Sir, perfect timing. I was looking for you.
You were looking for me? Well, here I am. What can I do for you?
I was wondering if you might help me.
You're the one looking for the lance.
No,
Don't take me for a fool. You are looking for the holy lances.
What's the matter? You seem completely panicked at the idea I might be interested in this relic.
No, that's not true.
What are you so afraid of?
I'm not afraid.
You know Mortimer's got it, so you're not worried that I'd give it back to him.
What are
so
you?
Why are you so terrified of me being able to find it?
You have no idea what it is you're looking for. What are you playing at, Richet? Mortimer's the one who has that cursed lance.
How long have you been looking for it?
Ah, I see. You want it, and so you plan to steal it from Mortimer.
For a long time. Isn't that right?
Why, you little swine! You're planning to give it to Sir Gregory. You're looking to double-cross me and Piaggi too.
What on earth is he talking about? But calm yourself, goddammit. You're the one I'm trying to help.
What?
I heard you talking with His Eminence, and it seemed to me that this story about the lances had put you in a tight spot. I was only trying to be helpful.
But why didn't you tell me straight away?
Seeing as I hadn't found it, I didn't want to commit myself too quickly. If I failed, I would look like a beginner.
I understand, Louis. I thought you were trying to manipulate me. But please, excuse me.
Не, ну, я пытаюсь тобой воспользоваться, конечно.
But you can't get ahead by staying in the shadows on a case like this. There are already several of us searching for the lance of Longinus. And it would be smarter to pool our information.
Unfortunately, I've barely made any progress. I'm still trying to find out what the original lance really looked like.
Let me reassure you, we've all been there, given the number of copies there are in existence. It also took us quite some time to discover its true shape. Many believe the central part of the head of the lance to be covered in gold, whereas, in truth, its center is made of an alloy of copper and iron.
That does make sense. In those times, a centurion wouldn't have any chance of possessing a lance made of gold.
That is the perversion of Christian idolatry. A copper lance could not have been noble enough to pierce the side of Christ.
Anyway, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, Louis. Keep me posted as to your research. We're bound to end up recovering it.
I'm counting on it. See you later. I managed to get the biography of Longinus the Centurion. Let's see what it can teach me. An interesting passage here tells me that the lance is engraved with the symbol of the first Christians, the fish.
А если мы пойдем в комнату Пьяджи, мы найдем что-нибудь интересное? Ой, здрасте, а что вы делаете?
Pardon me, monsieur, but I have work to do.
Ой, да все, пожалуйста, работайте. Я могу войти в его комнату, но в этом нет смысла.
Honey, the remedy of the gods.
Которое мне надо выпить. Да. Возможно, в моей комнате будут зацепки. Но так или иначе, возле моей комнаты мы остановимся и продолжим в следующий раз. Комната Гадоя. Гадоя. Насколько он религиозен? А мне кажется, я не могу войти к нему в комнату.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Ну и не надо.
Huh, that's me.
А вот в свою комнату я войти могу, и скорее всего я так и сделаю. Вдруг там есть что-то интересное. На этом мы заканчиваем. Пока.